It is time for the spineless politicians in Washington to drop the scared little child act, grow up, and remember that they are supposed to be fighting for our actual survival out here. We need the 25th Amendment set up and executed immediately, and every single congressman and senator needs to stop clutching their pearls, find a shred of adult courage, and vote to throw Donald Trump completely out of power because the math is simply not mathing anymore. Wake up and smell the absolute crisis. You are quite literally fighting for your lives, your families, your kids, and your future, and yet the people we elected to protect us have completely betrayed that responsibility, treating the American people like an afterthought when we were supposed to be the absolute top priority. It is genuinely insane that we have an unstable, criminal president actively abusing everyday citizens on American soil, while the rest of Capitol Hill stands around acting completely clueless, completely obsessed with investigating the rest of the world for imaginary crimes, while an actual dictatorship is being built directly under their noses. Right in front of us, Trump and his toxic little cult are treating the White House like a permanent personal playground, using ridiculous, high-stakes distraction tactics to cover up the literal architectural and systemic walls they are building to ensure they never, ever have to leave power. The man managed to bend every single legal boundary to secure a massive mansion for free, created an absolute monopoly that works exclusively to feed his own ego and bank account, and is currently setting up a system where his radicalized agency forces and hand-picked military figures can be weaponized against local police, officials, and civilian populations. If the actual leaders of this country don't have the backbone to stand up and hold this nightmare accountable, then we the people are legally and historically justified to step up, look to our constitutional amendments, and aggressively protect our own households from domestic tyranny, because that is our absolute right. No one seems to get this point through their thick, comfortable brains, but we are suffering through the consequences right now. And if you think you're safe just because you're in government, you better realize that after he finishes ruining us, he is coming straight for you next. You all need to turn off the cameras, call an immediate, locked-door secret meeting without a single media reporter in the room, and actually look outside the box to observe the chess match that is playing out in real time. The man is completely capable of anything and is sitting 20 steps ahead of the entire country, which means if we want a single shred of democracy left for our kids, we need to wake up, stop playing ourselves, and start moving 40 steps ahead of him before his whole unchecked apparatus is officially turned against us. I know for a fact that many of you reading this are actively serving in our military, and I genuinely need to look you in the eyes and ask how on earth you are watching this absolute madness unfold right in front of us without your alarms going off. It is completely wild to me that the very people who took a sacred oath to protect this nation and defend the United States Constitution against all threats, domestic and foreign, are just sitting on the sidelines, allowing an out-of-control, unchecked criminal apparatus to completely monopolize our government and dismantle our rights piece by piece. Are you seriously going to stand by and just watch it happen, waiting until the trap is completely sprung before you try to act? Because a massive reality check is that once this system secures total, absolute control, it will be far too late for any of us to fix it. We are not just complaining about regular, everyday politics anymore. We are quite literally fighting for our actual survival, for our households, and for the future of our kids. And it is laughably insulting that regular citizens are being treated like the enemy, while our own institutions are being weaponized to protect a toxic, selfish ego. We are all in this exact same boat together, and your families are living in the exact same reality that ours are, which means you cannot afford to play clueless or pretend that these aggressive power moves aren't going to eventually land right on your own doorstep. It is time to wake up, drop the comfortable blinders, and realize that we are all fighting for our lives out here. And if the people with the real power and training don't start paying attention and standing up for the citizens they swore to protect, we are going to lose everything we love. What truly blows my mind is how anyone in our military or law enforcement can look at the absolute wreckage unfolding right in front of our faces and still choose to sit there in complete, comfortable silence. Are you seriously going to just stand by and watch this whole country get entirely dismantled, waiting until the trap is completely sprung before you try to act? Because a massive dose of honesty is that once these corrupt systems lock down total control, it will be far too late for any of us to save ourselves. We are quite literally out here fighting for our actual survival, for our households, and for the basic futures of our kids. Which is the exact reason why the Constitution originally guaranteed us amendments to protect our own families from absolute tyranny, the very boundaries that Donald Trump aggressively twisted, bent, and stripped away during his first term while everyone called us crazy and swore a president could never alter the rules of the game. Well, surprise, because reality has officially entered the chat and proved that, yes, he absolutely can and did, leaving everyday citizens completely exposed without a single shred of the massive institutional power or resources that you in uniform possess. It is our absolute, undeniable right to protect our households, especially when nobody in Washington is coming to save us. Nobody is bringing food to our tables. And absolutely no one in power is bothering to fix the corporate robbery happening right under our noses with entities like Eversource continuously hiking up our utility prices, while everyone just waits around for regular people to drop dead from the stress. We absolutely refuse to just sit here and take this lying down, and we are desperately calling on you to drop the fear of evil. Remember the actual citizens you swore a sacred oath to defend. And stand up alongside us, because regular families are already out here holding the line against these criminals who belong behind literal bars. Those who love stalking pages to attack with laughing faces. You can save the laughing faces because I was not searching for your approval or opinions. P.S. We are not in any danger, so why will he have drones and soldiers? If he thought America is in danger, just like any other president, he would fund the military more for more ammo, guns, equipment. But no, he is only equipping the White House for who are the drones and soldiers.